Every time I see that banner right there at the beginning, I like to start laughing. Super Ambassadors Live. In case anyone's wondering how we got the term Super Ambassadors, we bestowed it upon ourselves. In case
self-appointed.
Yeah.
Well,
but
we are
appointed.
What? We are appointed ambassadors. We are just put the little super flag before it.
Yeah, we promoted ourselves. So all right, we're back for what, 5, 6 weeks, something like that here. We've had great conversations the last few weeks. Greg Dakins showed us a whole bunch of stuff inside of Barnum PT. Liz came in here and showed us all kinds of stuff about Canva. We had, Brandon and John showing us more local marketing, Google kind of stuff. And today we have our very own, and I suddenly forgot his name, Carlos Vargas. It's not like I haven't known Carlos for a while. And he's going to show us something that is actually a product owned by Russell Brunson. It is called Voomly. It's for video hosting. I think a lot of you are familiar with it. I think Russell uses it on most all of his funnels. And is there anything else you need to say before we bring in Carlos?
I don't think so. I think we use Voomly, and I think the cool thing about it is like I don't know if Carlos is going to get into it, but like the video funnel effect where you can actually direct people down to different videos based on what they choose. It's like supersizing a quiz. And so probably there's a lot more inside Voomly that you have never thought about.
Well, and I think that is actually one of the coolest features, and I'm sure Carlos will show that to us, how you can string videos together, and when somebody takes an action on one video, takes them to the next. We call them video funnels, but I actually saw online one day they were referring to them as smart videos, and I was like, okay, that's a good idea. And you can capture names and email addresses and all that right inside of it. And so whatever, we're stealing Carlos's thunder, so let's bring him on and let him show us his big brain.
Hello, guys. How you doing?
Hey, there he is.
Hey.
Cool. Thank you for having me.
All right, man. You got
Thanks
the floor.
For being on. Yeah, go for it.
So definitely, thank you very much. I think that you start going directly, and one of the things that I love about Voomly is that it's a very simple and powerful platform. Again, you mentioned very interesting. I don't work for the company. I don't work anything, but I love what it can help me do. And across what I'm going to do is that a lot of people have used to put their videos in YouTube, and then they go, why my funnels don't convert, or why they're so heavy when I go to optimize them or stuff like that. So I'm going to show you the payload that actually YouTube puts in and how we remove it automatically just by switching the video with the Voomly link. I literally going to show you a funnel exactly side by side and how just by switching that. And the reason for that is that for the longest, I was a big Vimeo user. So I had the videos and everything, and everybody used Vimeo. But all of a sudden, they start charging a ton for just hosting. And again, I have customers that are entrepreneurs, but I also have no profit. So they were getting killed because they have historical videos. And that's what was a big problem. So we're going to go through it. I have the chat open. Or you guys, if you get the questions. So let's start. Let me share my screen in here.
And we got Jonathan with us, and he says, Dan, you both are definitely super.
Yeah, well, we were just being modest, that's all.
We're incredibly humble here at Super Ambassadors Live.
Okay, so let me go here into Voomly, and let me know if you can see my screen.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm showing you there's a bunch of stuff in here, but I want to start with a big overview. As you mentioned, Dan, there's a lot in here, and probably we're going to be here for the next 3 days. But for people that don't know, you have the video drive. That is definitely where you put your video. So think about it like a big place that you can organize everything. So as you can see here, I create folders, and it's as simple as you just create a folder, put a name, and you can drop your video, and it will optimize it. Here's what you mentioned, Dan, that I'm going to cover a little bit later. That is the interactive videos or the video funnels. And the whole idea is that you can actually connect these things that you have in here in a sequence to connect everything together. So we mentioned that Voomly help you optimize. So I'm going to bring here a basic, this is a ClickFunnels page And you see that here Russell has a video.
Okay, hang on. We're still seeing the Voomly page.
Oh, you see the video? Okay, let me just share
There
this tab.
should be a little. Yep, perfect.
There we go.
There you go. Okay, so here you're seeing the one for YouTube. This video alone adds about 5 megabytes, just one video. If I use the Voomly version, it actually goes to 2. And I want to let me share the full screen so I can show you that full comparison, because I have a different one.
So Carlos, why what's the difference? Like if you're sitting here and you have no idea what even a megabyte is, what is the difference and what does it mean for people's funnels? Just so the people that are like, what in the heck did he just talk about?
Cool. Let's go. Most of us have, let's say, a mobile device. So if you are browsing a mobile device, when you're in your house, you probably have similar or good internet. But if you're outside, your internet goes down. So when you want somebody to watch or open your page, a big funnel takes longer to download. For people go, why this thing is so slow? When your videos download faster, your funnels move quicker. So it improves your conversions and it makes your videos appear faster and people don't have to wait for it. So that's the big thing, that it helps all those videos to move faster. Okay, so let me just bring the whole screen, because in this one I have 2 different browsers. So let me just, okay. So are you seeing my full screen?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So left side is Voomly. Just freshen. Right side is YouTube. If I see the way that this moves, the Voomly side is faster than the YouTube side. So what it happens is that it allows me to then load faster. And one of the cool things that, as you see, look, it's matching with my brand. So I can match a brand. I don't have to have anything else that distract anything from the place, even though it can slowly send the data and it can then consume the data. So you see that on the bottom, it's consuming, but at the initial load time, it's actually quicker. So when you move it on a page, it actually makes your life a lot easier. So that's the first thing.
Well, so basically, talking in terms like lazy loading images and videos, we all know what that is from inside a ClickFunnels. So essentially, you're saying here, in some ways, I'm putting in quotes here, it lazy loads it. So it loads enough of the video initially to be able to start playing it, but it doesn't necessarily load the entire file until after the rest of the page loads. Is that pretty much how it works?
Correct. And the other thing is this: the player for Voomly is very light. The player for YouTube, to even start displaying it, it downloads about 2 megabytes of data on JavaScript to be able to display it. So it's very heavy, and I don't know why they haven't fixed it. But the Voomly one, we're talking about kilobytes, very small, and it displays, like you said, a little bit, and then it starts streaming. So it actually, like you said, it lazy loads the video and it make it very easy to do anything.
And why that's important as well, I'm sorry to interrupt, Carlos, but why that's important is a lot of times you'll see there'll be a video on the page and all you'll see at first is text. And then all of a sudden the text will drop down and the video will pop in. That's the kind of thing that with Voomly you can avoid, because the player itself can load so much faster that it'll come in and will take up the space, whereas YouTube, Vimeo, Wistia, some of the other hosts, video hosting companies, it loads so slow that it will compress first. And as Carlos said, if you're on slow, I was going to say dial up, but I hope nobody's still on dial up. But if you're on slower internet, or if you're on your phone and you've got not necessarily a great connection, that can, people aren't going to stick around to watch it. And of course, we all know that it can also affect your ads. If you have a low page speed, it might affect your ranking with Google. It might affect your ranking with Facebook as far as ads go. And Carlos, I don't know if you know this, But if you click on network, are you on Chrome?
This I have this one on Firefox.
Okay. Oh, okay. I see over here to the right. It says no throttling.
Yep.
So right next to the gear on both of them. If you click on that, you should be able to put it like on 3G or something. So if somebody's testing this and they want to see what it would look like, how it would load at a lower speed, because a lot of us, especially in our offices, I mean, I'm here in Scottsdale and we got fiber optics out on the street. But just because there's fiber optics on the street doesn't mean that there isn't, 4, 5, 6 connectors in between. Plus, then it has to go to my Wi-Fi router that's over here by my shoulder. So all those things could slow it down. But if you want to simulate what somebody on a slower internet connection will see, throttle that down to like 3G and then rerun it. You'll be shocked what you're going to see on your screen.
So that was one of the things that I was going to do. So when I tried to do that and he started trying to load, the YouTube video will try and it doesn't even load the player as it goes through it. The Voomly, you see that it automatically start displaying the video in 3G. The YouTube is still thinking. Again, that was one of the details when I started looking at this, because even though in here in the United States, if you have, let's say, Metro PCS versus T-Mobile, it's the exact same company. But because you have a different plan, you actually get throttle the speed that you can get. So as you can see, on the 3G, Voomly is already there. YouTube is still thinking. It's not even up. So
yeah, it's still loading.
Yeah.
And the reference Dan would understand. Dan, I know you're on Consumer Cellular. So it's Consumer Cellular versus T-Mobile. They're the same company.
Consumer Cellular.
That's the AARP equivalent.
Oh, is that was? Oh, I see. It was an age joke. Okay, I get it. Okay.
So let me go into Voomly real quick in here, and let me bring that video so you can see some things that we could do. And one of the benefits that, let's say that we had you put the video in there, and you saw that there was no movement, but you probably have seen Russell that he automatically started moving on the videos. What is that? So Voomly give you the option that in the thumbnail, you can actually pick a frame. So within the video, you can actually pick a frame and that will be the default, but there's no movement. But there's this cool thing called video loop that you can put something to move and you can say, hey, give me this amount of movement or from the video from the beginning, so it will automatically like start playing. So like right now, I have that at the beginning of the video. So if I just go, let's say I'm gonna put the first couple of minutes, I'm gonna save it. And all that I have to do is I save it in Voomly. I'm gonna change the throttle, so no throttling, so it'll make it faster. And I'm gonna refresh this. And you see that all of a sudden, the video start moving. Like, hey, wait, something's happening in there. So it's like an autoplay without an autoplay because some of the browsers are not allowing autoplay. So this is within the actual player. You start getting like an autoplay feature so you can start seeing that there's some movement and people, oh, wait, let me click to see what that is. So that's a really great feature within Voomly that allow you to nothing else, not all the tool, not all the customization. You don't have to do anything else. Just by configuring that thumbnail option so your video could start playing.
Now, have you tested running the short clip versus not running it? Is there a significant difference in page load speed?
Is the actual same page load speed because this little thing loads after. After the player loads is that this thing starts. So it's without being too technical, the way that they are streaming, they break it into smaller chunks. So they just send you the very first chunk after the player loads, and then just little things to come in. So there's barely any difference.
So, Ed, because I know that you know the technical end of this stuff a lot better than I do. So as the video plays, does it just keep reaching back out to the server and pull in chunk after chunk after chunk?
Yeah, so if you see in
and
here,
if so, then if I jump, let's say, just move the cursor over to like the middle of the play bar, how long does it then take to catch up and start playing? Well, you got to hit the play button. But
so you see, it went right away, because as soon as, if you see in here in the where I had the cursor, it went to chunk 526 before it was like in chunk 20.
okay.
And what it's doing is, you see, it says file 540p. That means that they have encrypted or encoded the file in the different resolutions. So it's not actually sending you the big file, it's sending you a smaller file. And depending on the size of the player, it will change the resolution that it sends automatically. So you don't even have to change it. It dynamically switched that for you. So you don't have to worry about that. So that's one. And again, one of the cool things that they have done, that it optimized the play time for your experience. Okay.
So if you had that like full screen, would that come back with a file that was 1080p then instead of the 540p?
Yeah. So if I go here, full screen, you're going to see that, looking here, the file is switched to file 1080p.
Okay.
So that,
yeah,
that's
incredible. That is very, very responsive then.
Yeah. And then here, let's go into a player, because that's something also. There are different players that you can get, and you can, I'm going to go a little bit through it, but you can put the branding, and normally at the end, you will have the company branding. So that will be, in this case, by default, it's Voomly. But you can also customize this to your brand. You can put here your logo. So in that way, it's whatever you want, and change it whenever you want it. And you can have multiple. So let me show you this. Let's say that I have this, that is the blue, the default one. If I have one for me that I have called my white minimal, I could just go here into the player settings, and I could apply this theme and click save. Again, without touching the funnel. Next time that this is refreshed, this have a completely different theme. So the theme, I can customize it, and this could be done across all my videos or only a specific video that I may want. And now it has my brand, the way that I want it, and how I want to conduct everything for that video or videos, or let's say course, because that's the other cool thing, that I can now optimize my courses to leverage this. So that is basic video playing from a video standpoint, but there's a lot more in here. I can add a button. I can add an image. That's when you see that I can decide that if I want to add an image, and I can just drag and drop it here. This image in here, I could put whatever image I want. And you probably have seen the image that says play for sound or stuff like that. So you can add that built-in into the platform. You don't need nothing else to do that. You can upload it, and you can decide what to do when you click that image. If you want it to go somewhere else, or you want it to play the video. So it has a lot of customizations to think about the image option. So that is from on top of the video. So if you think about it, the video is the back layer, and you can put things on top of the video so they can show and help you interact better. When I go to control.
So just to be clear here, what Carlos is talking about is if you've seen like the click to play button on there, so you see it like running in the background. I think Vimeo has this, doesn't it? So it kind of runs in the background. You got the click to play, you click that, all of a sudden it starts playing and you hear the sound, and it starts the whole thing all over again.
Well, you technically need a third party to be able to do that. So you need CF Pro Tools or some other third party that will do that. The player itself don't have
You're talking with Vimeo.
Correct.
Right. Okay. But here it's built into Voomly.
Correct. And here it's built into Voomly. So you can then customize and select which buttons you want to appear on the play bar. That is the bottom part. So let's say that you don't want the time and you don't want the speed. So you don't want them to change the speed to 2x, 3x. You can decide that you don't want that. Something that a lot of people don't know is that Voomly includes the option to have subtitles. So subtitles in here, you can show it, the button, but there's a complete section that I'm gonna go that you can, let's say, go to subtitles. And in here, I can say auto generate. And now this is actually on the back end, generating the subtitles for this video, and they will appear when I click them. So that's something that a lot of people don't know, that that's built into the platform. So you don't need anything else. Then interactions is where the things come very interesting. And a lot of people have heard that Voomly have a way to capture leads, but when they come in, they look for the word leads and doesn't appear anywhere. It's called turnstile. So you have your play bar that it gives you the timing. So you see this video is about an hour. So I can come here and drop this turnstile wherever I want it. So here I drop it in the playhead. So that means that at the beginning, before I even can watch the video, I need to select and type first name, last name, and email. How do I customize it? All that I have to do is click on it, and I can decide what I need to do with it. Do I want it to have the name, or the email is always required. And then here is where, when Russell bought the company, I messaged the PMs in Voomly, because I have Voomly way before that, and I say, how do I integrate this into ClickFunnels? And they say, it's built in. So I came and I click and I go, I don't see no ClickFunnels. Where's ClickFunnels? And they said, just drop it on a page. That's it. So that's the cool thing. When you enable this turnstile, I click save. When I go now to my Voomly video and I refresh it, click play, whoop, right there. Before I can even watch a video. That
now,
turnstile.
okay, sorry to interrupt again, but if you put that turnstile on there and did not have that loop going, would they see the turnstile thing on page load?
Correct. Yep. They will see it as soon as they play the video. When you the turnstile is as soon as you hit play, what happened? So
or wherever you choose to put it in the video.
Correct. Whenever you choose it. So if you type, we have a form in here, but this technically take the same place of the form on a ClickFunnels page.
Right.
And when I
so it's stored, if they don't have a record before, it will create a new record right inside of your contact database.
Correct. So that is if you have, I'm assuming that everybody in here or may have ClickFunnels. If you don't have ClickFunnels, don't worry, I'll talk about that later, but let's talk about ClickFunnels. Like that mentioned, when you put first name, last name, and email, this will automatically create that, and then you can take actions. So if I go into my funnel, let me go here, and I come into this page that is a Voomly page, I can now eliminate this completely, save this page, and I can come and add a workflow, and I can do the same options and select opt-in, and that opt-in, as soon as they submit something, I can have the opt-in running and send them an email. Thank you for watching the video. If you put it on minute 15, oh, it was so nice that you saw the video on up to minute 15 or at the end, whatever, you can make the decision and everything will work without a problem. Okay. So that's a very cool feature of that. And I'm not going to talk a lot about the customized version of Voomly, but if you have any of the options of the last secret or any other that you may have your customized version of Voomly, let's say like mine, I call it ClickVid, all the same features for that runs on your customized version of that. Okay. Dan,
Well, I
you
was
had a
going to
question.
say here, if you put this the turnstile here late in the video, there's one thing you definitely know about those people is that they are interested in what you were talking about. If they sat
Correct.
there and watched 50 minutes worth, they are very interested in what you're talking about. So you can definitely segment out people as being hot traffic right there. The other thing you can put in there, so you do, let's think in terms of a perfect webinar, more of a thing. You kind of do your origin thing up front, and and you get to the point where you're going to start teaching, and you say, oh, okay, if you want to get the how-to, email address right here.
So that is something that you can combine, because there is the option for doing chapters, but also in the video funnel, you have some additional options that you could do, that you can actually send them to a different page. So you can then tag them in a different way and add options. So as you go through this, the idea is, what can you do to try to understand your audience? And one thing that some of the other platforms don't have is a simplified way to see your analytics for your videos. You have one. So let me save this. Let me take this part out. I'm going to remove it for now. But I want to show you the full analytics. When you click this top tab, you see all your videos and all the analytics across all of them. And you can go detail in the analytics. So I can go in this video and see the heat map of where they came, the geos, the different places, the devices, the browsers that they were using, where they dropped, where they didn't drop. So it's not a replacement for a third-party analytics for your funnel, but you can actually have a detail on how your videos are running. So that's very important for that. So something that, like you mentioned, the video funnel, when the first time that I saw Russell doing it, I had a previous app that I bought probably 5 years ago that used to do something similar, but I never used it because it never clicked until I saw Russell using it. And then I decided to use it with my wife. So my wife had a mission trip, and she told me, hey, build me something. So again, I'm just gonna so the whole idea was that she was trying to communicate in the person's language to share her goal for the mission trip. Again, we directed to 3 individual videos after you click on each of this. How do you build it? It's very simple. Let me go here.
Well, yeah, and I'll tell you, the first time I saw how simple this was, I was just like, oh, you got to be kidding me.
So
if you can put a couple boxes on the screen and pull your mouse between them, you pretty much can figure it out.
So the way that this works is that you drop your first video that is a starting.
Can you blow that up a little bit? It's really
Yep.
small on Facebook. Okay, it's better.
Okay, so you have a first video, and you're gonna add your other videos on the back. So I'm gonna go step by step, but I like to show how the end, and that then we build it. And technically what we're doing is that we're thinking about the video before we create the video, because we want to think about how we want to send them in a different path, and this could end up sending them to a different funnel or to a different page. So the idea is you bring a menu in front of them so they can actually see it. In this case, they're gonna be 3 little videos that she's gonna speak in the actual language. So one, she's speaking in English to the audience that know her, that she speaks English. Her native tongue is Portuguese, and then people that know her to speak Spanish. So we recorded all the videos, and then we put it together. So let me go and put this thing together. We can go and gonna go back, gonna create interactive video, gonna demo video. And in here, what I do is that I'm gonna open the drive, and it's gonna ask me for the video. So let me just go and look for it.
So Carlos, while you're doing that, I'll kind of give another example. So what we did is some people know that we do healthcare instructions. And what we did is people who have colonoscopies at different times of day require different instructions. So we actually went through, and if your appointment is at before noon, you click on it, you get that video. If your appointment is afternoon, you click on it, you get that video. So you can think about it in terms of like avatars. You can think about it in terms of like which course do you think people would best fit in based on their problems or their false beliefs.
Correct. And that's the best way to do so. Let me just go a little bit. Now that we have them in here, I can then start connecting. You see this guy. So, but if I do it here, it just tell me, okay, this is when the video end. I don't want when the video end. So I'm going to take this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit the video. And again, you can customize everything. And in the interactions is that we going to select, and we're going to put some buttons at some time. So again, you're going to watch the video. And in her case, about second 2 is that she mentioned English. So I'm going to drop a button. And I'm just going to move that button. And you can style the button for color. I just pick a different one. I'm going to put English. And then I went a little bit forward. You see about there. I'm going to drop another one. I'm going to take it here. I'm going to change color. Red. And put. And then I think it's about there. Is the next one. That is Spanish. So after we do this part, and you need to have the ñ. You cannot put español because people that speak Spanish, they go, hey, you forgot the ñ. So you see, this is very simple. It's not difficult. The magic happening here on click. What do you want to do? Play another video. And now, because I dropped all those videos before, all that I have to do is pick the video. Okay, let me go to the Portuguese. Play another video. Portuguese. English. Play another video. English. Save. Now, I am done customizing this. All that I have to do now is embed it. So I can come here and preview the video. See?
Now with these videos, to get this functionality, you have to actually embed it. You can't just grab the link like you would on Vimeo, or at least that's been my experience, or I've been doing it wrong the whole time.
So here what it says share, if you put this link, this will be your page. So if you want to share the video page, if you take this embed option that is in here, Voomly is picking up this ID that you see here, the 7FJ, that's the ID. So ClickFunnels does all the magic to put it wherever it needs. So technically I can take this, if I remember correctly, this option here. Let me go to the funnel. I'm gonna go and edit. I'm gonna remove Russell. I'm gonna put now my, don't make me look bad now. That's the only thing. Every time that you do a demo in any company, when you're doing a demo, that's what I normally like to pre-record them.
Yeah, no, it doesn't fail. If you're doing this live, the streaming gods will kick you out every time.
Yeah. So, okay, let's go and refresh this. Yeah,
That's what I thought. Yep.
So let me just grab the embed code, copy.
Now I want people to notice this right here, what you just did. you put the URL or the embed code in exactly the same link.
Yeah.
That's
Look at it
how
here.
simple it is in 2.0 to put a video in there. You can just drop the embed code right in there.
Yeah.
I've been doing it wrong the whole time. I didn't know that it would air out on that page link. So that's not your actual like video link. Like you can grab that link for Voomly and plug it in and it just works normally. But for the ones with the interaction, like this type of the funnel part of it, you need to use that embed code.
Yeah, you need to use the embed. The reason that you have the link is because if I go to Voomly and I take this is the video page. So I can just open a new page and I can just share that page. And I can actually customize the page and put my logo and everything and just share this page. And that could be your page that you're sending people. But to put it on the funnel, you need the embed code because it's gonna do some magic on the back end so you can do it. So let's go back to the funnel so you can see.
So hang on one second here, just to be clear on this. If we did not do the interactive video, we just did a regular video, could we use that link that you just showed, or do we always have to use the embed code?
I think it's a different link.
So let me show you here. So let's go to a regular video so we can see and then we come back. Let's take the video so you can see. When you pick the embed code, you have different options. Video page is just the video page. So I can come right here and share that page and they can see this video and you can share this, no problem. That is the same link that ClickFunnels take and they have the secret sauce on the back end to know, hey, you're giving me the share page, I'm gonna embed the video so you don't have to do it. So you can just take this and put it and it will work. Or you can pick the embed code and embed it. What is the difference? Let's say that you're not in ClickFunnels. You're in some other third-party platform or you're hard coding it into an app or something. You can actually just take this and put it in that page and it will work perfectly fine. Okay. You can also use an iframe. So if your platform doesn't support it, that is not ClickFunnels, and you want to use it and you want to use an iframe, it will work perfectly fine.
Okay, now when I originally tested this years ago, I found that there was a difference between the embed and the iframe. And hopefully, I mean, there were some issues with one. I don't remember which one. And so I would guess they probably have all that corrected by now.
Yeah, at the beginning, in CF1, the iframe worked better than the JS. Now, technically what is happening on the backend, they load this library automatically, so you don't have to load it. So that's why you don't need to even put it. So right now on the backend, ClickFunnels have the JS library loading, and they actually just put this number, and you know, oh, that's the number for the video that you want to load, and it'll load it for you. So, but here's one thing that I want to show you. You have the floating model, that is that, so it will load, but a lot of people don't know about this. You have an option that you can create a GIF file of that video, and you can pick the resolution based on the resolution of the video. And where this come really handy is that, let's say that you want to put a background on a page and you want the background to look like a video, but not a video because it's too heavy. Let me show you an example that I did for a customer.
So you're telling me I've been doing it wrong by just uploading my things to Giphy.
So yeah, I was doing that also, and then they were very heavy. So this is an actually GIF of a customer that is actually running from Voomly, and this is running on as a background on ClickFunnels. So this is a ClickFunnels page that I'm working with her, helping her build. And all that we did is that we uploaded the video, and I just selected that option. So I came here, pick the resolution that I want, and again, this is you knowing sometimes we want to have the highest quality, but when we're running on the background, you don't need the highest quality. So what I did is that I'm in 720, I am in good, and I am in 12 frames. And the reason for that is that, again, I don't need that because it's not going to be on the forefront. It's just a background, and your eyes don't see the difference when it's on a background video. So there's no need to have full quality, and that also make the page load a lot faster. So this is the built-in.
The other thing with what you had there, did you have an overlay over the top of it as well? It looked like it was pretty dark. Was there an overlay there?
That is just on the page itself.
Okay, so the video itself was kind of dark.
Yeah.
You're saying
No, that is using all ClickFunnels functions. So
no, I'm talking about an overlay here in ClickFunnels.
No, so actually on the
section.
Here on the section, is
okay,
the background.
Okay, so you do have a I'm calling it an overlay, but yeah, foreground or background, yeah.
So that actually, like I said, this is built-in functionality that you can leverage and use it.
So does that then give you a link, or do you have to upload it because you are stuck to that 10 megabyte limit for a ClickFunnels image?
No, this is actually a link. So this is an actual link. Let me just grab it here. That it create the GIF for you, and it's hosting it by Voomly. So you see, it created a GIF file of the type 720, and you can use it anywhere that you want. So you see, it's a smaller version, but when you put it on the page, it looks great, and you can work with it. But the video was a 720, so it's going to give me 720 quality. So what you start is what it creates. So if you want a video that will look better, you need to start with a video that have a higher quality so it can look better. But again, most people watch something on mobile. So you want to then optimize it for mobile so it's smaller and you don't have a lot of bandwidth issues. Okay?
Well, so have you tested to see how long or how big of a GIF you can make? Because of course that's going to be the next question. Can I make a 30-minute GIF?
Why do I want to make a 30-minute GIF?
I'm just asking a simple question here, Carlos. Come on. Inquiring minds need to know.
He's asking for a friend. Wink, wink.
Okay. Yeah, I'm asking for a friend.
If you want me to ask for a friend, I will after this I will try it.
Okay, so the answer is you haven't tested it. That's fine.
No, yeah, for a 30-minute, no. But what I love to do is get those weird things. And one of the weirdest things is that when you come here into the settings, you probably have seen that there are integrations, and there's some in here that you say, hey, like I mentioned, there's this one in here, Google Sheets. So you can actually even connect it and drop everything automatically to a Google Sheet, and you don't have to worry about it. So
you meaning the person's name and email address you can send to a Google Sheet.
Correct. So
is there any other information you're collecting anywhere along the way that you could send to Google Sheets?
Well, you can actually, on the video, you can create a quiz. So I could come.
Oh, okay, that's right.
I can come into the video, and in the interactions, there are questions that you can do, images, chapters, and I could do a quiz. So you can put whatever you're getting and send it there.
Okay.
So another,
now, of course, that begs the question then, does the quiz data also get stored into ClickFunnels?
I haven't tried that option to be stored in ClickFunnels. I know that you can drop it into the Google Sheet, but again, we can try that after that. But one thing that a lot of people sometimes ask is like, can I password protect a video? And the answer is yes. So you can just come here into the security section, and all you have to do is just toggle it and just put a password. And you can then configure these options in here. And again, language, that a lot of times people go, well, it's not in English or it's not in Spanish. Just type whatever you want. This is ASCII characters. So you can just put whatever you want in here and it will show up. And in that way, make it easier.
But I think the point is also at this point, it's like you're talking security, is Voomly videos are more secure in terms of somebody going through and like trying to download it, trying to steal it off your course or your funnel than like a YouTube video or a Vimeo video. It's much more difficult to try to hack your way through to try to figure out how to download a Voomly video. Of course, you can screen record it, right? Than those other platforms.
Yeah, you can actually definitely YouTube. One of the challenges that I saw a lot of times that the YouTube video, if I come back to this one so you can see the difference. Let me just refresh it. Right here in the top, it sending me to that place. So I can automatically say, oh, wait, let me just go to that video. And sometimes people don't know. And by just moving the mouse, you saw I just click and I went away from the funnel. So right there, I'm just coming here and I'm clicking on the top to try to see it. And it took me outside. So I get distracted by all these things. Oh, wait, a new
Well, those
match.
also show up at the end of the video too.
That's
Which
what,
is
so
the
that was the
other
next thing.
distraction.
Correct. So right there, you get the recommended videos that legally YouTube require you that you cannot remove. There are players that remove it, but if you are embedded in YouTube, you are required to show those related videos. With the Voomly, you actually don't show anything. So you
And
control.
those could be your competition too, because they're going to show related content.
That's so you bring a very
cute,
good
cute cat videos. Those are the ones that get you. The cute cat video shows up, you got to click on it, and then you're gone. And
So-
and the real point of that whole thing is you just spent a whole bunch of money to get somebody, or time, one of the two, to get somebody to come to your sales page, and now all of a sudden they're looking at cat videos on YouTube.
Well, not only the cat video, like Madison mentioned, let's say that I know that Dan is my competition and I know his channel. I can in YouTube actually say, I want to show my ads in every video that Dan has. So right there, I can actually pay to interrupt your audience when they're actually watching your videos. So right there, I actually can still and show, hey, I have something better. You're watching Dan's video on DNS. Come and watch my video because my video is better. So I can actually try to steal you.
Better.
But ads don't interject on an embed, right?
On any video.
Oh.
Because your account, that's how it knows that it's you. The only videos that ads don't play are private videos, because they will actually don't show it on private videos.
Also, I think unlisted videos.
I think that on listed videos, they may show it depending on how you have your channel set up. So if you have monetization enabled on your channel, they may not appear on the beginning, but they may appear at different places. So there's some weird things that could happen. So in that way, we eliminate that option. So
now I'll tell you one thing. I have used YouTube videos on courses, and I leave them unlisted, and there is no ad rolls on those if they're unlisted. And because mostly I had them on YouTube before, and I was like, I'm not going to download them and then load them into YouTube or into ClickFunnels, because I didn't need to. It was all free courses I was giving away. So I didn't do that. So I think on unlisted, I don't think it will roll the ads.
So I asked our friend Al, or like I call ChatGPT, and it says if you have your monetizations, then ads will run wherever the video is played or embedded. So there's a key there with your monetization factors of it.
Monetized,
So you brought a good point. That is migration. So if you have, there's two platforms right now that is supported for migration. If I come into my settings, you can migrate from Wistia and from Vimeo. So you can actually suck all the videos from that account and do the migration. Whoop, you don't have to manually download them. If you need to do something manually, I have done that for customers from different platforms, from Voomly, from Video, from Kajabi, from membership.io. We do that migration without a problem. So one other thing that is very, very cool before time run out, let me just go back, and is that your page,
I put a message in the chat to YouTube, but apparently neither of you saw it. I mean, if we got to go past the end of the hour, I think this is worth it for the audience to be able to see this, because we're not just chitty chatting here. We're actually getting some work done.
Let me just try to refresh here.
Dan, we do have the big boss watching. I see Danny Walsh has liked our stream, so I don't know if he's still on. So we got to be on our game here.
Well, we just have to pay him more money, and he'll not fire us.
Okay, so in here in the embed side for the remember that you have the link for the share page. So in here in video page, you can customize and change your logo. So Voomly logo, I can go custom and I can upload my logo right here. And I can even allow comments in that page. So let's say that you have a video and you're sending it to your audience and you want to comment in there. So you can have that option in there and change. So I have a dark theme. So let's say I can change it. And now when I take the page, now I have a dark theme page. You see that says comment disable. But if I come back, no, separate page, I can allow comments, save it again. And now you see I can have comments coming in this page. So this is really cool. I use it with customers when I finish a video for them, or I did something with AI or something like that. I can send it to them and they can comment on the video. And then from there, it works. And again, these are features that work in both in Voomly and in your custom version of the page. So then there's a feature that I have explored a little bit. They don't talk a lot about it, but it's the courses feature within them. This was from before platform. So if you have it, again, it doesn't make no sense that you have a completely separate platform, because then for emails and stuff like that, you need to connect something else. Just host your videos in ClickFunnels and then run your courses in there. One that I've been playing with it lately that I have created a couple of them and then deleted is Showcase. So instead of having a playlist on YouTube, you can now have a playlist of your videos in Voomly. And you can now, I can click create showcase. I'm gonna go demo showcase for Voomly stream. And you can say, hey, I want this to be public or to be private. And in here, I'm gonna go Voomly showcase demo. Thing that I need to have, lowercase, that's what it is. There you go. So I create this, and then what I do is that I can customize it. And in here, it's gonna give me the option to add a banner. So I can add a banner, again, dark theme, and now I can start adding videos. So from here, I can list all the videos, and I have 300 videos. So I'm gonna just do it for the heck of it for now for testing it. So now I can have a customized version of all my videos that I can share, and they can appear. And again, you can customize it, but you can have a single place that you can showcase all those videos and they can come and play it. And now they can click, comment, and give it. This is like your own channel within Voomly. That's the use case that I've seen.
Or if you're working with the client like one-on-one and you want to upload those Zoom calls, you could put them in their own showcase, and then that person would just have one link to it. Because I'm assuming you can add videos at a later time and it updates, because it's pretty much the coolest thing about Voomly is you can change the video and the links stay the same. You can change the player, the links stay the same.
That's another great feature that you mentioned, that the video links stay the same. Not like YouTube, that every video have a different link. So on the back end, they will update the file, but you can have a single place to do that. So yeah, that's an option.
So we should say the caveat to that is in your video drive, you do have to right click and go replace file and upload from there. You can't just upload it and expect Voomly to magically connect things together.
Yeah, you have to here. So on the video, you click the three dots, you click replace video, and then you can upload a video to switch this one. So it stays the same video file.
And so you don't have to go back into your funnels and change all the links and accidentally forget one, and now it has your mess up in it. That's the one that everybody sees.
Correct. So definitely, as a platform, it gives you a lot of power. And like you see here, I can organize it however I need it, however I want it. I love that it's extremely fast to upload. I don't know what they're doing on the back end for but this is hosted in, I don't know, in AWS or GCP, one of them. So they're running all that, so I don't have to worry about it. And again, it integrates fairly easy with ClickFunnels, so I don't have to worry about that. So I can, when I come and I drop the video like we did, you can drop or the script or the actual file URL, and then your videos are up and running, and you don't have to worry about it. So let me just stop
go back
sharing.
to the showcases for a minute.
Showcase,
Because
okay.
there was kind of a use case that I was kind of thinking about. So open that up.
All your cat videos, Dan?
Well, yeah, dog videos too. I mean, come on, let's not discriminate.
Well, that would be a separate showcase. You got to niche down.
Oh, well, okay.
Correct. You have to niche down.
Segment the marketplace here. So we got the names of the videos underneath one there. Is there somewhere you can also put a description under each one of those videos? That's the number one question. And number two, can you choose the layout of this? So instead of being two side by each, have them just one on top of each other.
So in here, the videos are coming from the ones that we picked. So let's remove this. I can pick, I think that because I am, I can just add some of the videos. I can do videos here.
There was a little help box there.
No, this is the resource center. But in here, I can actually, let's say, I can pick, this is a course that I did on Shippo for ClickFunnels. So if I click all those videos, now it's gonna put, because the quantity of the videos, but to put the description, I think that this comes from the actual video. So let's go there. Let me go.
And it looks like it's number of columns or number of videos in a row are based on your screen size, because you went down, zoomed out, and now you went 3 wide.
Yeah, so let's see if on the video in here.
So it's responsive. Okay. So that would also then mean if you put it into something that had a narrower column, it might line them all up on top of each other. But the reason why I was asking and thinking about this is when you showed that, I was just like, let's say you got a course inside of ClickFunnels and you decide, I don't really feel like making 5 different lessons for these 5 different videos or putting 5 different videos players on the page. Just go, hey, just take the showcase, make one lesson, drop the showcase onto the lesson. There's all 5 videos right there.
That's right.
So I'm just being lazy. That's all.
We were unable to identify the video. So in the showcase, you cannot identify like that. But there's never something that is never. So let's try something. If I take this is embedding this whole thing. So, well, let's do this. iframe generator. Can I create? So technically, I may be able to customize this and do 800 by, no, wait, I want the width. Yeah, I want the width 800 and height 1200.
And here's a top secret, super duper thing about iframes that I learned the other day. Haven't tested it yet, so but as Madison says, Al taught me this the other day, that you can actually lazy load iframes.
Yep.
Only 2 things you can lazy load: images and iframes. So if you put in the tag, or technically the attribute of loading, let me see, loading equals lazy. Is that what it is? Or is it lazy loading equals true? I forget. Ask Al.
So technically, you may be able to then create an iframe, but the scrolly bar, you have to play with the size of what you have.
Mm-hmm.
And then in here, then you can, when you click, it's gonna load just that one. So technically, you can do what you want. I will have to see how to customize this part in here, and there may be a way to do that part.
Well, either way, my question, like I said, revolved around simple way to put a bunch of videos into a course, because as soon as you click on one, it pops up full screen.
Correct, and that's the thing. So definitely that will be an option. I don't know if there were any other questions from the chat.
No, just Jonathan saying that this was so cool, and he thanks you, Carlos, for coming on and showing it.
Oh, cool. I think that there's a lot of things you could do with those videos and how do you optimize it and organize it. Like I have a custom version. Let me stop sharing here real quick. I actually have, so you saw the analytics. So I started working for a customer that I can track percentage view. So I can send it to Google Analytics so then you can take action of it. So let's say you have watched 10%. So I send an event in Google Analytics to say, okay, this customer have watched X percentage. So you can actually show ads or show different options, because then you can also send that to Facebook. So you say, hey, this user have seen, so you can see the pixel based on the percentage of usage that they have seen. That I have an idea. Somebody,
you might have to come back and spend the next hour talking about that, because there's actually, if you've seen the ad or not, there's an ad that talks about a brick wall funnel.
Correct.
In a software that I think is about $10,000 because it's tied into a coaching program. That's been the only thing that Voomly couldn't do, or at least that's what I thought, that this other software can do. And you're saying that there's a possibility that none of us have to pay that and we can utilize Voomly, and that being that key thing of tagging it back into your Facebook, your ads.
I think that we know the same software, and that's where I got the idea. And I asked the Cussing Al, so not Al, but Cussing Al. And I said, hey, how do we do this thing? And I started working on it, and I actually have the whole thing going through it, and then sending events every 10%, it goes, oh, this person watched so much, and it sent the updates and all the events. So yeah. So
we'll give you another week to work on that, and then we'll have you come back and show us all how we can do that.
We want it polished up and working perfectly. But yeah, with all the different integrations you showed there, so you had all of your email integrations. There were like 5 or 6 of those. There's integration with Zapier. There's all the analytics. There's this. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. This was my project that I was going to work on. I always kind of do a separate project on the weekend just to keep things from being too monotonous. Working on Voomly this weekend was my project. And so when, people don't know, but we had been planning on having Carlos on for a few weeks now to talk about Voomly, but as always, somebody else went first or whatever else. And so everybody bailed on us this week, and we said, all right, Carlos, you're up. And so it was, it definitely lined up for what I was planning on doing this weekend.
Cool. Yeah. So definitely let me know, and we'll gladly come back. And I think that the whole idea is play with it. There were stuff that people ask, can we do this? Can we do this with Voomly or not? Like, there's a way that you can actually stream it that look like a Zoom video. So I actually have one that look like you're on a Zoom webinar, but it's actually not a Zoom webinar. It's actually a Voomly video playing automatically, and it look everything the same. So again, the platform can give you, and you can embed it in any platform and do it in ClickFunnels. So that will be the best way.
So we do have a question from Tom in the chat, and he says, if I created 3 video ads of a product/service that are all the same link, can they play concurrently so that the user can switch between each video with the button as they play in sync?
So let me see if I understand correctly. So he has 3 videos.
Yes.
And he want to run them one after another one, or that the user can click either
I think switch between.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Choose your own adventure type thing.
Concurrently would mean they're all 3 playing at the same time.
So technically what happens is that you need to have one that will be the starting one. And at some point you create the buttons to go wherever you want. Then in the other video, you need to create the other buttons so they can come back or forward, technically. So they can switch between each other. So, and in that way.
The issue I see with that is that they're not you go from one video to the next, you're going to go to the beginning of the video, aren't you? You can't go to a particular timestamp.
Well, you would have to cut. You would have to make cuts and like basically segment. Think of them as chapters, right? Or unless you can link right to a certain chapter in.
Yeah, because you can't put chapters in there.
No, yeah, you can. You can put chapter. I didn't talk about that, but you can
Well,
create
you
chapters.
can put chapters in there, but can you, when you go from one video, you click a button on one video, you can't say go to chapter 3 in this other video.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you can or not. I will have to check that.
So Tom, just keep an eye out for when we have Carlos back. We'll have him investigate that and report back the next time he is on.
But I think that the question for Tom is, why complicated?
Yeah.
Always
what is the purpose of it?
Is better. So let's say if you want someone to watch one video, let them finish that video and then jump to the next one, because you can actually daisy chain the videos and you can say, after this video, make them play this next video, and it will just literally continue. But then send them to a different page, because that's the other option that you can have. We didn't talk about how those interactions work in ClickFunnels. So let's say you can finish a video and tell it at the end, send them to a different page. So you actually you can tag the user because they landed in that page. Now you can tag them that they saw that video or that they landed in that video by going to a different page. And it may look exactly the same page, but now they're playing a different video.
And that's what people have to understand here is when you start doing the interactive thing here is think of it in terms of a funnel. If they answer question A, they go over here. Question B here, C here, when they get done, or a quiz inside of ClickFunnels. So there, not only do you have the funnel functionality built into these videos, you also have the quiz functionality built in there, which again, as well, depending on what they answered, you can play different videos based on what they answered or send them to different destinations based upon what their answers were. So there's a ton of flexibility here.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of times, and we're gonna take too long on that, but you had to think strategy first, because the tools can do anything. But why do you want someone to go through it? Like, think about the example that I shared what my wife was trying to do. She was trying to share her message, and she have 3 different audiences. And no one, everybody said, like, I have never seen something like that. So I said, hey, let me try it. And so she spoke in English, and it was difficult for her because her first language is Portuguese. But she actually did the video completely. So the people that know her were like, that is so amazing that I was able to interact with you in your language. And I saw that you have other languages. So if you're offering different services, hey, I do funnel building and I do image creation or I do webinars, click the button below. And that way you get what you need. One thing that I'm trying that I saw someone doing it and I'm figuring out how they did it is that they actually did like a vertical video, and they actually have the button for in the vertical video. So I'm like, okay, are they doing it native Voomly? They did some customization on the chat or something. So I'm like, that's the next one that I had to figure out how to do that part.
Well, I think it is obvious. We need to have you back. And before we get the hook from like the Muppets, for going over time, for being the 3 hours that we said it probably would be, probably gonna have to wrap this up and have you back, because I think there's lots of things that you want to look into, cool things you want to bring back to the group, and it's probably going to spur some other things. And so we're definitely going to have you back and share more about kind of some custom advanced, we'll call that advanced Voomly 101 or Voomly 102 or 201 or whatever.
Cool.
Postgraduate Voomly. How's that?
Yes.
Okay, so
PhD Voomly. Yes.
Okay. All right. On that note, we will let everyone go. We appreciate you watching this week. And next week, we may have very, very special person, somebody very high up in ClickFunnels that you would definitely recognize them. But I can't say who yet because contracts have not been signed. So, we have to be careful about that. So unless you guys got something else, I will just say until next week, we'll see y'all.
Stay tuned.